Hello, everyone. Lacey here, and we're going to talk about this month's full moon in Scorpio. This will be an interesting moon, and I thought I would start with doing like makeup in transits, like a makeup tutorial a little bit, because I thought that would be a really, really fun way to talk about the transits, right? And I thought I could start off like naked, right? Because Scorpio is the sign of vulnerability and wanting to know what's at the bottom of things, right? What's at the bare bottom, bare bones, right? How far does that go, right? That's how Scorpio goes. So I thought I would do a little makeup tutorial and talk about the transits. And we'll see how well this goes because there's a lot going on around me outside, next door, right? Just so if you hear noise, that's what it is. All right. First, we're going to start with, I've already put on basically my foundation, which is this right here. This is what I've used. This right here. Pause your video if you want to pause it so that you can read these labels so you can run out and get it immediately. Put it on your face. I'm not paid by these people at all, but I like the tinted SPF a lot. This is the foundation that I have used, right? For like this, my highlighter, my concealer part, right? That's what because it's a little bit lighter than that sunscreen. So pause the video, run out and go find this foundation. If you want to know what foundation I use. And since Taurus is involved here, right? The sun will be in Taurus. That is the sign of luxury. Make sure you put on something luxurious while you put on your makeup. Make sure you have good smells. This is the smell that I use. It's one of my favorite fragrances. It smells so good. It smells like roses. Legit. Oh, just give that to me all day. So go out and get this and rub it all over your body. Scorpio rules the genitals, so it's kind of a sexy sign. So, what better than to put on some sexy makeup? Bring a sexy, beautiful, luxurious robe. The other thing that I've put on is this Smashbox here. Smashbox photo finish. Pause the video. Look at it. Photo finish. Smooth and blur, which is totally real because we're going to be putting on some blush as well as some contouring today. So this helps it to blur more together. So now that you have your foundation on, let's look at some transits. What do you say? And then I'll get started on putting on my makeup. All right. I'm going to share my screen with you. Here you go. So here's what we see here. 4 degrees is the moon in Scorpio for the full moon in April, the month of April. Full moon in Scorpio. The moon in Scorpio is said to be in its fall. That means that it has a hard time performing everything it would normally do for a native. It means that the native here, depending upon what house it's in though as well, might have a harder time accessing or describing their feelings, their inner world, their emotions. Scorpio, it wants to hide until it feels safe enough to come out in the open. Scorpio, one of the animals associated, or scorpion, Mercury, will notice too, is here retrograding in Aries. I am a double Aries. My words have been getting like super mixed up already. And it's not even Mercury retrograde when I'm filming this. I already feel it. So I definitely don't want to be filming this when Mercury goes retrograde. But so we've got Mercury retrograde, which means don't sign any contracts that you weren't already going to sign pre the retrograde, right? It's in the impulsive sign of Aries. That's a ready, set, jump. No, ready, jump, set, right? Like it doesn't, its consequences be damned, right? So you're going to have some more impulsive, like, I should buy a boat. I should buy a house, right? Like, if you aren't already doing those things, maybe wait before you sign anything that's going to keep you in a contract for a long time. That is a word to the wise. Please take this advice. I've seen oftentimes where people think something's a good idea during the retrograde and then go, oh shit, I should change this. I didn't want to do this. This isn't all the things I wanted, right? So really think about it before you sign it. The sun here, we have the Jupiter Uranus. This is like unexpected things happening, right? Uranus is independent, not innovative things happening too. So you could be experiencing innovations in the financial sectors of our lives, right? Because Taurus and Scorpio cover our money and others' money, right? So you might have unexpected cash flow or unexpected cash out, right? You're the person giving the money. So you can expect some changes or shifts around your finances and really know where Scorpio is in your chart. For example, it is in my 8th house and in my 2nd house of money. And I am currently writing a very sexy book that is based on astrology and how to touch or how we enjoy to be touched based on our moon sign. So expect that to come out. Woo. All right. But the full moon here is in Scorpio. Other symbols for Scorpio are the eagle, right? It's got an eagle eye, an investigative eye. It can be flying, oh my gosh, like hundreds of feet. Don't quote me on this. Google this if you really want to know the animal fact, but eagles can see tiny, tiny mice from really high up in the air, right? And swoop down and snatch it, right? Eagle's a sign of bravery, right? It's always been thought of as a very noble animal, a very fierce animal. This is a competitor. This is an ambitious sign, right? This is a sign who lies in wait like a sniper, waits, and then snipes or attacks, right? It waits for the right moment. Phoenix, this is a legendary mythical animal. This animal must die and be reborn, right? To be its full self again. And Scorpio is the sign of clinging onto or holding onto things tightly until we realize, until it's a fixed sign. So until things dawn on it, then it's not willing to let anything go until it is convinced that it needs to let it go. And then it's got to burn everything to the ground and be reborn, right? Phoenix moments are something that Scorpio sun, moon, and risings will experience in their life. And then, of course, Scorpio, the scorpion, it comes out at night, right? It waits in its cave. It has a stinger, right? It's got pincers and a stinger, and it's got poison. So don't come out of Scorpio, right? If they're not ready, they will sting you. They've got a stinger, right? They'll have a sharp tongue sometimes, right? It's a Mars ruled sign, which means that it's the god of war. It's the god of war in water, right? It's the god of war in waiting, right? But yeah, think of deep waters. Think of the occult, right? Think of, demonic studies, right? These people tend to be very interested in esoteric concepts, right? So maybe you'll do some ritual on this full moon in Scorpio, wherever it is in your chart. Think of what do you need to let go of, right? What hasn't been serving you, of course, always. And then what will it take to rise like a fucking phoenix? So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And now I'm going to do some naked. I'm going to do some makeup on my naked face. Fuck you. Mercury retrograde right now. All right, let's start. So I've already put on my foundation and everything like that. I'm going to put on my little face powder stuff here. This is MAC. It doesn't show it anymore, with my Bare Minerals brush that I've had for a million years. And I'm just going to swirl it around. And then I'm just gonna pat my face now, because I'm trying to just get an even skin tone. Also, it's gonna make the contouring powders and my blush more easier to move around. It can make you be kind of ashy. So in the end, I have this very moist little like thing that I'm gonna pat on my face to give it a sort of a dewier look. All right. So I'm gonna put this on my face. I'm not gonna go up too close to my eye because, sorry, if I go too close to my eye, then as an older woman, you tend to get wrinkles under your eyes, right? This one has more than this one has. But you'll get wrinkles underneath your eye, and then this can get caked in there, and you don't really want that because it'll accentuate the wrinkles. I want to accentuate my wrinkles, please, said no one ever unless you were acting or had to have stage makeup, right? I'm gonna put a little on my forehead. My goodness, if I could stop hitting the thing. Sorry, y'all. All right. And then fix your bangs again. All right. So we got some powder on, not too much, not too close to my eye. There it is. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my contouring here. You can tell the one I use the most. Contouring. So contouring just gives depth to your face because we've just powdered it all out. We've just foundationed it all out. So you're going to rub your little thing in here. This is physician's formula. You can get this at any drugstore. I can go a little more less expensive with my contouring powders because I'm not putting it all over my face, right? So what I'm going to do is look at where my cheekbone is, which is right here, right? And you're going to want to follow the cheekbone, or if you like, say you have like a lower cheekbone, maybe go a little bit closer to the eye, like a finger's breadth away from the eye. And then you can follow the contouring line down. But I prefer to see, look here, and then I'm going to just kind of follow that down towards my mouth. Boop, there. I'm going to get a little more powder on. I'm going to look at my cheekbone here, which is a little bit more difficult since the sunshine is right there. And I'm going to smile. And I'm going to try and find my cheekbone, which is like right here, and come down towards my mouth again. This one's a little harder to see, but all right. Cheekbone down, make them a little bit darker. And cheekbone down again. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is come from my ear, and we're going to go straight down my jawline there. And what this helps to do is when you get older, you also have like excess skin that starts to hang down here. So you're going to try and shade that out, right? Come straight down there, like that. Trying to stay close to the mic without hitting it. All right, same thing. Close to my ear and down, ear and down. Say it with me, to my ear and down. Boom. Now the thing with, and then I'm going to put a little bit here and a little bit here just to get the focus here. You want the light focused here, down your nose and on your chin. And then you want to shade the parts where you want people to focus less on. There. Now, you can also put some powder on your forehead here, right? In the corners. But since I wear bangs, it's not, I don't care as much about it, right? Here, try not hit the microphone. Look at my hairline, y'all. There it is. Ooh, my undone eyebrows, so hot. I'm gonna, there. Now you've contoured. So the parts that you want to contour are, ooh, accentuate those cheeks. What? Ooh, accentuate that jawline. Yes. And then the last place I want to do it is on your nose. So imagine there's a line here. I had already put one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here on the outside. Okay. So I'm going to go down like this. Boop, boop, boop. It doesn't super show up exactly, but boop, down like this. Now, something that I always notice that always kind of bothers me is if I don't have any lighting on my face or a camera on my face, it feels like I have like a muddy face when I put that on. Now, it's what I see though, but other people don't seem to see that at all. They just seem to see a beautiful face, right? So I'm going straight down, straight down. There we go, right? And I'm kind of widening my gaze so that I can look for the line. Here, I'll get a little bit closer so you can see. Now we've got sort of the light mostly falling down this way. Go like this so you can kind of see it, the lines. Okay. We'll just go there. You can make it darker or lighter, depending upon what you want. And now I'm going to go with my blush, which is another MAC blush. It's kind of like this rosy, it's like a mauve rosy color. And then I have this sort of straight, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on, and then I'm going to go on top of the contouring line here, right? On top of here, and bring it down. Okay, same thing on this side. If you get too much powder, blow it off. On the top, so down, down, down. Very good. Now the other thing that I'm going to do is I like a little bit of blush on my cheeks, not a lot. You want to keep this part light. Keep that in mind. So I'm going to go la, 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 just kind of under the cheekbone and then back in. See? Make that line if you have to. Oh, I'm also going to put in the box below. I'll put in the music that I was listening to earlier. I've been watching the Sex Lives of College Girls, and it's kind of fun. So I've been listening to that playlist today. So hey, you can listen to that while you put on your makeup with me. All right. So again, we've gone down. I'm going to be kind of under my cheek. There we go. And a little round. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. There we go. I've got some blush on. It is like interesting trying to put this on in the filming myself. All right, so I've got some blush on. They look like lines right now, so let's fix that. I'm gonna go over it all again with my little thing. So you get these, whenever you see these shaped things, you're gonna get them wet beforehand, a little bit moist, just kind of run it under the sink. And then what I do is I take where I contoured, right, the darker parts that I just put in here, and I'm gonna dab it in my powder here, right? So I can get some on my thing here. And then I'm gonna dab it in. Now, the reason why I like to use this is because I have older skin that needs to be moisturized. So it kind of adds that moisturizing element. See? I'm gonna do the same thing with my other side here. Bat it in your cheek. Bat your cheeks, babies. All right. And on the jawline here, what I'm looking to do is to just get it to fade a little bit in, right? Just fading it in. That's all. Now, I use the other side, this tip here, for like the center part, right? And for the parts that I want to highlight, right? That's what I'm going for here. I'm going to put a little bit in my eyes too, just because I like to have it all patted down. There we go. And then keep it again away from your, directly underneath your under eye if you have mature under eye. All right. Next step is the highlighter. I think I'm going to use the highlighter. Yeah. So this is Fenty Beauty. And I got this from Ulta. I actually went in there and I said, I want to have highlighters that a drag queen would use because I love their like sharp features. I love drag queens too. Or I love watching them. I get so inspired by their makeup. And when they're on their like best attitude, like when they're trying to help all the other queens out, right? I don't like catty, but I like it when they come to their sort of senses and are like, oh, I'm so sorry, girl. I was just under some pressure, like I love that part. All right, so I'm gonna go, so I've just put this in, but I'm gonna go on top now. So I had the contouring, the blush, and now we're gonna go with the shimmer here. You can see how it kind of gets mixed after a while, right? A little bit. Tap, and then Give you some dew, baby, some dew. Same thing on the other side here, on top of that blush, right? Where my blush is, coming down to my cheek. Boop. And then the other place I'm going to put it is right on my nose, right down that line there. Make the noise if you have to. Cute nose. So I'm just going to put it here, here, and there. And then I'm going to put it over my eye to give my eye and the corners of those eyes a little bit of shimmer. Do not use like regular glitter with this, please. Glitter and eyes don't mix. So a little bit of powder here. And I'm going to just put it all over because powder helps other powders to like smear. And we're going to be putting on some eyeshadow next. All right. So I have like this fun little trick to do with eyes, especially if you have hooded eyes. So you'll notice that when I'm looking directly at you, right, or like up, that I have sort of more hooded eyes. The eye hangs down lower. This hangs down lower the older we get. So I'm going to show you a little trick to help you with hooded eyes. But the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a very narrow tip here. See how she's kind of flat? And I'm going to dip her. So this is my my palette, my makeup palette. I got it like super long ago. It takes forever to use. I'm going to dip it in this one here, my darkest one. And I'm going to go with my eye. So there's different ways of doing this, but one of the good ways is you see my under eye, my eyelash right here. I'm going to get really close to you right now. And I'm going to continue that line up. Okay. And I won't talk so much because you won't be able to hear me. I'm going to be on the other side of my microphone right now. So let's get really close. Just a little bit. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to clean it up with some concealer in a bit. So I'm going to tap it again. I'm going to do my other eye. There we go. And one's kind of longer than the other. That's okay. We can kind of fix it in post, if you will, a little bit. Now I'm going to come in close to you again and I'm going to go whoop, fill it in. Now I like powders. I like using powders because they're smudgier, blurrier, and I don't have that double lash line like you do with liquid. So I'll go with the powder first to kind of cover and get rid of this double lash line. And then sometimes I'll go over with a black liquid. Let's continue. On the lash line here. Oh, I always forget how Aries I am and how impatient I am to like show people things. It is a flaw. Or is it a flaw? Just born this way. That's the thing I love about astrology is I can just tell you how you're born and how you can work with it. What do you love about astrology? All right. So I've gone over my eyes. If I were in front of my mirror, I'd probably be a little more exact about it. Got a Virgo stellium. She cares about details hard. But for right now, that's close enough for me. I lied. It's not. Okay. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do this fun little trick, and you'll need to grab a little spoon, a little makeup spoon. And you're going to, so this is how to help with hooded eyes here. I'm going to put it over my eye, and then you see that there's like this little overhang here. Yeah. The little overhang. I'm going to first get some powder on my brush. So I had this side that I was using earlier. Now I have a this side brush. I'm going to dab it in, I think I'm just going to use this one. It's not super dark, but it definitely changes it. So, sorry. I'm going to go in again. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. See? It makes kind of this great circle. And I'm going to clean it up. So I'm going to dab it a little more here. And go over. And then I'm going to not go farther than this line I've already made. And now I'm going to swoop down. All right, see? I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. Pat, pat, pat. There. Pat, pat, pat again. Even enough for me right now. And now I'm going to take my other brush here. It looks kind of like this. You can use any kind of really size, but I like this one because it's longer and it's softer. And I'm going to go in the crease here with a darker color. And the darker color that I use is this one here. So I'm going to pat, pat, pat. And I'm going to go in the crease here and not go super far up. Okay. I'm getting close now. See, it gives just like a little bit of a shadow there. Do the same thing to the other side. There. See? And now I've also realized that I've so graciously let you see my eyebrows that are undone too. Oh, my naked eyebrows. What? All right. Oh yeah, here it is. So I'm gonna take my little highlighter brush again, and I'm gonna go in the lightest color here, right? The one that's like super used. And I'm gonna go start in the corner and sort of blend it all out. And the other side. There we go. That's pretty okay for me right now. All right. And then last, I'm going to use this brush here. It's not the same brush. It's the same shape as the one that we used for this. But this one is one that I specifically use for my eyebrows because I want to keep a finer, sharper tip, right? For my eye here, because you want that line to stay fine. But for my eyebrows, it's not as, I don't care if it's as fine, right? Because it's eyebrows, baby. All right, let's get close. And I'm going to put on my eyebrows. I'm staying on the top here, not going underneath so much. Because I find that when I go underneath, right, underneath my brow with this, it tends to look like extra, right? Like Frida Kahlo eyebrows, right? Which I've definitely gone for Frida Kahlo looks before because, well, she was a badass. So respect. Again, the nice thing about having bangs is you hide them. So even if you haven't like tweezed your eyebrows in a while, whatever, right? Like if you have bangs, it doesn't matter so much. Let's do the other eye. I'm just kind of filling it in. All right, there we go. We can go in and tighten up. If you wanted to tighten up this under eye area, you can totally do that. You can take some more of your foundation, put a little bit on your hand, on the back of your hand here. Like, look, I have like the tiniest dot. Because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to swoop it underneath this eye to make that a little bit. Well, some people use a Q-tip. Some people use a brush. Yeah, just to kind of even it out. And then I'm going to take my brush that I was using before, that same one. Hello, Mr. Other Brush. And then I'm just going to kind of tighten it in a little bit again. Tighten, tighten. Keeping it tight. Whatever. All right. I'm not going to futz too much with it today because I will get in the weeds with trying to perfect that action. So, boom. Oh my God, White, you're beautiful. Now, before I put on my lipstick, that's what I have left to do. Lipstick, or you could just use gloss. Before I do that, and before I put on my mascara, I am going to spray my face with this stuff here. It's like a primer, and it's called Fix It or Fix, and it is from MAC. And I'm going to grab my fan here. Let's give you the pretty side. My fan, because I'm going to spray my face so that I can make sure that it's less likely to melt off of me during the day. So I'm going to spray, and then I'm going to fan my face. The reason why, and I find that if I put on my mascara before I spray, she melts. I have like these tracks underneath my eye, like my mascara will start like dripping down a little bit, or like it'll have those little dots underneath. And I'm like, no. The other thing that this spray does is it adds moisture to your face. All right, now that it's kind of on, now I'm going to put on some mascara. I'm going to get in close to you. You won't be able to hear me again, but I'm going to put extra on the outer lash here, these outer lashes, because I kind of like that winged cat eye look. All right. You'll notice my little like blink method. If I was putting on fake eyelashes, I'd probably put them on at this point too, not even worry about mascara so much. When I was experimenting with makeup before, it was like, it was always hard for me to put mascara on because I was like all with eyes, you know. All right. So there is that. And then we've got lipstick. So I have this Clinique liner for lips. because the lipstick that I have is Lady Bold, and it's by this company called Too Faced. They have like a little heart W thing there. And it is this color here, which I can tell you what color it is. Take Over. That's the color it is. All right. So first, let's come in. We'll put on my liner. Start at the bow. I think one of my favorite parts about putting on lip liner, it's a little uneven, but whatever. You get the gist. My lips look like my mother's lips when I was growing up. So when I would watch her put on lip liner, and then I'd be like, so when I do it on myself, I totally see my mom's lips. All right, we got them lined up. And now let's put on the lipstick. You can do like a fun two-tone look. And it's kind of fun, but it will get on the bottom lip inevitably. Boom. Oh my God, who is this goddess before me? All right. Now we've got our makeup on. Now we're feeling sexy. Another note about this full moon that I want to mention really quick is normally during a Scorpio full moon, I think of this as a great time to experiment with BDSM, right? Because it's a good night to really explore these sexual parts of ourselves. Scorpio rules the genitals. So usually it's a really good time, but I'm going to share my screen again so I can show you the transits. Well, we'll start with what I had on my screen last, which is the different versions of Scorpio. But this moon here, right? It's meant to say opposite here. There is a square to Pluto, right? This could be like power issues or power control, right? A square to being controlled. But the real one that I'm thinking of is that Mercury retrograde. That's the one that makes me think it might not be the best time to experiment with BDSM too much because it might be harder to communicate what feels good, what's working for you, what's not working for you. So maybe not the best time. So I just wanted to make that note because I care. All right. So that is the full moon in Scorpio. Be vulnerable, be naked, be explore the deepest depths of yourself. That's what this moon wants to explore, wants to experiment with. If you've had a hard time opening up to someone close to you, like a partner, this could be a great time to do that. Keep in mind that you will have to go back over it, right? Because Mercury's in retrograde, which means that whatever you're talking about at that time, when Mercury goes direct, it will be going back over. So we're talking about it. Maybe I've said some things that I don't exactly mean, or I now have, when Mercury goes direct, you'll have better clarity on it. So make sure that you have a safe space, right? Make sure that you are feeling safe. Make sure that your partner feels safe to share their emotional vulnerability. And if things start going the way that you don't want them to go, put a pin in it, wait till Mercury goes direct, and then discuss it again. Try journaling. You could go into like a bath or a deprivation tank, right? Like floating in water. Water is great during water full moons. So perhaps being there and floating in the dark, right? Floating in water could be really awesome. If you have a hot tub, that'd be awesome too. Hot tubs are really great. Hot tubs are really great for Scorpio full moons, hot Marsy water. All right. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for letting me experiment. Have a happy full moon. Bye-bye.